This episode is brought to you by Los Cuernos Wine
and John Milikowski Tax Law,
the Coast News Group,
and Repegs. All of you make this podcast possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome to the Heart of the Matter podcast. I'm Junon.
And I'm Susan Billings. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure if you like this, push the subscribe button. We'd love having you here. Thanks for being here.
And today we have Michael Cifone.
Michael.
Thanks for having me.
The myth, the legend.
I appreciate you guys having me on here. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Let's start off. Again, we met at the group. How did you get to the group?
Yeah, we were just trying to think back how long ago it was, but probably about 4 or 5 months ago. Rebecca Ely had introduced me to the group. I had met her at another networking event, and she told me to come by and check it out. And I came in with no expectations, and it's been really fun to watch how much that group has grown. You know, she's like, "Oh, we just meet at a coffee shop up in Encinitas," and I was like, "Okay, what time do I be there? 9 o'clock." Okay,
nice.
And it was a really pleasant surprise walking into very kind, welcoming group of people, and
we're doing something right.
Kind.
Is it true to how we kind of describe it? Is it the anti-networking group?
Yes, for sure, because I feel no pressure going there. It's Friday mornings, you're ending your week. Like, I'm excited to go and see everybody and make new connections, because the nice part is you never know who's going to be there every week too. There's new people every single week, and I love that thing that you guys do where start the meeting off with just going around the room and saying, "Hey, you're new. Tell us about yourself, where you're from, what you do," and that gives everybody else who's been there for a while a chance to kind of point them out and seek them out after the meeting.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Did you plan that? Was that strategy? For the new people? I mean, for the old people to recognize now these are the new people. Yeah. I heard someone say you never want to miss a meeting because you never know what you're gonna miss. And that's how it is. It's like, go because you don't know if that person's gonna be. I mean, gosh. So grateful to know you.
Absolutely.
I mean, each person individually, it's just like, what if we didn't know them?
And they're so unique, and everybody in the group, and I've always said that, a lot of people, you would never hang out with that person outside of them.
Hang out with
right? I mean, why would you hang out with them?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, and I feel like after that first meeting, you and I had coffee like a few days later.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're the king of having coffees with people, doing multiple times a day, but that was great. We didn't even talk business at all.
No,
we
not
just
at all.
Got to know each other on a personal level.
No, but I do remember you saying, "I think he's my new best friend."
Oh yeah,
I remember you saying that.
Yeah,
it was a whiskey.
It was a whiskey, but you did. You were locked in real fast on Mike. You were like, "I think he's going to be my
and to be honest, I was in this golf tournament. I needed to stack my team.
Oh, did you go?
I did go.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, it was great for me. You got the invite to Aviara, which was a beautiful course. Actually, Errol, I met Errol at the tournament. Great guy, and he was actually supposed to come Friday, so maybe we'll see him.
Oh, that'd be great.
But I've seen him, a few times then, and then Kids for Peace.
Was that for Kids for Peace?
That was for Kids for Peace, which is awesome. And Margie is fantastic.
She is fantastic.
And I've seen her at multiple different events, even away from that group. And so
I love it.
It's been really good to connect with people there.
Social setting. I mean, again, it's hard to do business with someone or just kind of associate with them if there isn't that personal contact. And,
Agreed.
Yeah, it would be interesting to hear if everybody had a log of all of their interminglings now with the people amongst the group. Because there are so many.
Yeah. I mean, you said that because we are working on that. We're working on the back office portal.
So. Yeah. I actually thought of that probably too late, but like this morning, I was like, man, I should make a list of all of the people that I've connected with from the group, and then who they've connected me with, because that's a long list, right? In just 4 or 5 months,
that's
right?
The point.
And
that's going to be the ask on Friday. Let's do that.
Wow.
And it's business stuff too, which is great, but it's also personal stuff, right? And it's like, go golfing, right?
Yeah.
Nick McCoy, right? Golfing with him has been, I've been out with
Nick,
him a few times now.
Yeah.
We love you, Nick.
But
podcast isn't the same without you.
It isn't. I got this one.
But
No, that's true. It's definitely business and personal. It always seems to mix in, though.
Yeah.
Like we'll have I'm having a meeting with some of the women from the group on Friday at my house. I know it's not sticking just to business.
Right.
We definitely feel like we're massively a part of each other's lives.
That support system. And that's the thing too. Even having coffee with you and getting to know you, playing golf poorly for me, but I mean, he played pretty well. But I mean, the thing is, your background, you would never think that you're this social, because when you typically think of accounting, CFO, financial stuff, they get kind of put in a box because they kind of have to be. But I love the fact that you're very social and personable.
And I got that a lot throughout my career, for sure. I was kind of a standout in that aspect. So always the one wearing the bright shirts to the office.
Really?
Right?
That's awesome.
And my business partner, obviously, very social and outgoing as well. And that's kind of why it really works for us to kind of start this up together.
So tell us all about it. So did you know your business partner for a long time? How did that come into formation?
Yeah, so I moved to San Diego in 2010 from Connecticut. So born and raised out there, went to UConn.
Husky.
Yeah, I was a Husky. So back-to-back national championships, no big deal. Going for number 3. First game of the season is tonight. Not to go too far off topic here, but excited for that.
Ray Allen was my favorite college player. So,
no kidding. I got a signed Ray Allen t-shirt at home.
No way.
He came to my camp when I was a kid.
That's right. He's all excited.
Too funny. Yeah, so I started working for Deloitte when I moved out here. So originally, like I said, went to UConn. I already had a job lined up from an internship that I did while I was in school. And so I worked for a few years in Connecticut for a small public accounting firm. And that, again, was kind of by choice. Like, a lot of kids went to, the Big Four and, the bigger accounting shops. And I just had a really good relationship with some of the people from this smaller company. It was called CCR at the time. They don't exist anymore. They were acquired by a larger firm eventually down the road. But I made some great connections there, and it was really good for me, like learning straight out of school. Because when you come out of school, you don't really know at all, really, right? And so it's really important to have good mentors.
Yeah.
And I had that there, and it was fantastic. And I would have stayed there. The only problem was I knew what it was like in Southern California, and I just really wanted to come out and live here.
Really?
So I visited San Diego when I was in college. I was probably 20 years old. And I was like, I'm coming out right after school. That's it. I'm out of here. But I graduated into the recession, and it wasn't really a good time to up and move. So I stayed there a few years and came out with the intention of, let's just see what jobs are out there. And that's when I decided to stay with public accounting, and Deloitte was hiring, and I thought that was a great opportunity to now go from a small firm to a big firm.
Learn all of those.
Yeah, exactly. Build a network there and meet people in San Diego. I didn't know anybody when I moved out here. I just kind of came out on my own.
Yeah.
And so that's how I met, long-winded way of saying that's how I met my business partner. I got into recruiting with Deloitte, just another way to kind of meet people.
Yeah.
And he, I think, was a year or two behind me. So when he was coming in, I took him out for recruiting and trying to tell him why he should choose Deloitte versus the other firms that he was looking at.
Really
And,
interesting.
it was a fast friendship.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We went out to dinner, and then
Whiskey's involved.
a whole group of us ended up doing karaoke that night.
Really?
Down in downtown San Diego.
Nice.
And
we opens up people.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, it worked, right?
Yeah.
So we hit it off immediately, and we've been friends for over a decade.
Wow.
So.
That's amazing. Well, so kind of go back though, like what made you? Because again, going back to it, you don't seem like the accountant type. What made you choose that major, that kind of direction in the first place?
Ooh, tough question. Just didn't really have any strong interest in anything else.
Okay.
Accounting kind of came easy to me naturally. That was what I like to do and wanted to see what it was about. And so it was an easy path into the working world.
Yeah.
And like I said, I worked with great people coming out of it, and just decided that would be for me, and it was a good start. My dad was also an accountant too, so I don't know how much of it was
there it is.
It's not like I was trying to go down the same path, but
but it was something
it
you were
was something
familiar
that inherently I was good at and comfortable with, and so and it's also a great way to meet people, because when you work in that industry, right, not only are you working with your team of folks, on the audit side, you're working with the clients, right? So I'm meeting all of these people who, have different types of businesses, right? And you're getting to see all of that.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Which was
no better way to learn, the entrepreneurial side of things than to get in with their numbers. That's great.
But on the business side, I mean, accounting is just
You think so, but there's a lot of like
It's
strategy
needed.
involved
It's needed,
too, right? It's not
absolutely.
like sitting behind an Excel spreadsheet all day.
Right.
Although I love Excel, obviously.
Okay.
But that's not the nature of it.
So you were with, so how long before you were like, I don't know if I want to do this big corporate gig?
I think I knew it right away.
Did you?
But the longer you stay, the more you learn. So it was just like, I'll just keep kind of doing this and learning until like an opportunity comes along for me.
Mm-hmm.
So like, because a lot of people joke that like you're either on the partner track, you're going to be a partner at one of these firms, or you're eventually leaving and you're going somewhere else to work in private, right? And partner track was never for me. It was just, you see, it's a very stressful job, right? And it doesn't really get any less stressful once you make partner.
Really?
Right? You're obviously compensated a lot better, but I just thought there was more out there, and I wanted to be involved and see what else there was. And I ended up, I think 3.5 years I stayed at Deloitte, and then went and worked for a juice company here called Suja.
Oh, no way.
love
Suja.
Suja.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That was kind of the first juicing company, let's be honest.
Took
Here, for sure.
I feel like Suja was the, finally.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wild. So I think that was 2014 when I started
Aren't they
there.
where are they out of?
Oceanside.
They're in
now.
Oceanside.
Right.
Didn't they sell? Did they sell?
There's been a bunch of transactions, right? They like sold in the beginning a bit to Coke. Like
That's what it was.
Coca-Cola,
really?
but now they are bought by private equity. And so, they've had a lot of turnover in the accounting and finance department.
Right.
But, when I was there, I think there were 30 employees, and that included like the people out in the back making the juice. We were in like Mira Mesa or Miramar, right?
Wow.
Right by the air base over there. And it was funny because like it was such a small, like we had a couple conference rooms like this, and then maybe like 20 desks in the middle.
Really?
And too many people. And so people would be taking phone calls out in the parking lot, like on a daily basis, because the company was just growing so fast.
Right.
Gosh, I wanted to have a juicing company so bad. I remember when Suja came out, I was like, that's what I want to be doing.
Well, they were at every...
That's pretty crazy how you were with them in the beginning.
They were at every farmer's market, I remember, too.
Yep.
In the beginning.
100%.
Were they?
Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
We got to do a lot of really cool events with Suja, because they sponsored a lot of things around town. And so, that was my first intro into like, the startup world, right? And Southern California in general. So it was like going from corporate, wearing slacks and a button-down shirt every day
to startup.
To startup where CFOs wearing shorts and flip-flops
especially
every day,
here.
in
this world, like in our little neck of the woods, business is a whole different side of business.
Right, for sure. But it was fun. I loved it.
Yeah,
it was like,
cool.
the work wasn't, any less, right? Like, that atmosphere was crazy. We worked a lot, but it was more fun. It was more enjoyable. You're more comfortable, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just kind of meeting a lot of good people through that. So I did that, and then during that time I was there, they ended up building the facility up in Oceanside and expanding the production and everything. And I think when I left, there was over 200 employees.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
it was really great.
For them.
And still, they've expanded even further since. And
I still see them.
they're running that thing 24/7 up there.
Amazing.
It's really cool.
That's great.
That is great.
So
it's good.
From Suja to...
So the journey continues. So I was at Suja. And a group of friends and I always going back to college basketball in UConn.
Yeah.
We always go to Las Vegas for March Madness for the first weekend.
I've seen you there.
Right. Yeah. It's the best time to go, right? You just, if you love basketball, right? We just sit and watch basketball. Like, all right.
I'm getting pushed out of this conversation, buddy. Best buddies.
It's good. We should have a buffer. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So a good group of friends of mine, we'd always go out there for that. And one of them, he worked at Deloitte San Diego as well. And I met him there. He was from New York, actually, too. He came in as an experienced hire, just like I did. Experienced hire just meaning like you didn't start right out of college with the firm, right? Mm-hmm. So, but he worked for Deloitte in New York and then transferred out to San Diego. But he told me he was consulting up in the Bay Area and had a bunch of life science companies, but he was going to leave that consulting practice to go work full time for one of his clients, and just because the opportunity was really good. And he was like, "Hey, like this is going to be great. You should really come up here and be the controller for this company." And that's the role I was in at Suja. I was the controller for 3 years. And so. you know, I gave him a bunch of pushback at first because I love San Diego. I didn't want to move, but he kept on me every couple months, you know, and eventually, you know, I agreed to go up there and meet with their CEO and him. And I think we met in the office on a weekend too and sat in a conference room.
Oh,
They
wow.
just kind of walked us through, you know, what the company was. And so it's a life science company that was developing a drug. And that was pretty much all I needed to hear. Like it was great. It was a really, really cool opportunity, and I knew it wouldn't be forever to go up there. So I was like, all right, I could leave San Diego for a bit, and ended up taking that role as controller there. Again, I think I was employee like 35, and started small. We raised a $100 million Series B about a month after I got there.
Wow.
And 9 months later, we actually ended up taking the company public.
Oh, wow.
So
that's a long process.
Yeah, it was a long process.
Jeez.
And they hadn't had, you know, the finance team was all pretty new. I think, you know, we had an accounting manager who started a month prior to me. And then, you know, my friend who hired me, he was the VP of finance. And then we had like an AP person and a technical accounting person. And so 4 of us sat in an office that was the size of, you know, a normal office, maybe 12 by 12. With the closed door, essentially, because, you know, everything we were working on was confidential for that entire time, pretty much. Wow. So we got to know each other really well.
Sure, yeah.
Wow.
But thankfully, you know, they were very like-minded, like great guys. Like I was really, really lucky. Like, because that's the one thing, like when you take a new job, who you work with is so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like you could, the company.
Yeah. Nick, I miss you.
Oh, man.
No, it does make a difference. And obviously you had enough synergy that it took it to where it needed to go in a fast amount of time.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Again, a ton of work, right? Like, you know, we had to go back, you know, 2 years of financial statements, get everything quarterized, work with the auditors, you know, which nobody ever likes doing, even though that's what I was before as an auditor, right? Yeah. You hate it when you're on the other side and you got to deal with other questions. But because we've had that experience, it made it easier to understand, you know, what they were asking for, get them stuff easily. And so the company went public. It was super successful for the first 3 or so years, and then, you know, unfortunately, it took a turn at the end of 2021. They failed their phase 3 clinical trial, which 90% of the time, you know, it happens with these companies. So I'm not going to say it wasn't a shock because of those statistics. It was still shocking and unfortunate for everybody, right? But they kind of had to go back to square one. And
you know, it's good to hear that, honestly, on the business side of things. How many actually, I wouldn't call it a failure. I don't call anything a failure because there's always something to learn. But it's nice to know that people do well. They go through cyclical patterns, and it's okay to go through that.
Right. And that was actually like my first role at a life science company, right? And so when I was there, I was there for 4.5 years in total. And over the course of that, like, there's a lot of people who are coming in from other life science companies, right? Like the community's pretty small. And so like CEO comes in, he brings a lot of people from the company he used to work for. And CMO comes in, they bring a bunch of people they used to work with, right? Because you want that continuity. You want the people that like you like working with, you know, really well. And so I learned a lot from them along the way, just asking questions about different companies that they've been at. And so you hear all the successes and the failures, right? And the lessons learned. And so it was good to learn that along the way.
Yeah.
So long story short, during that time, COVID happened.
I was going to ask, you were smack in the middle of COVID.
Smack in the middle of COVID. So living in a tiny apartment up near the office, just because we spent more time in the office probably than at home. But, you know, we got sent home, didn't know how long we'd be home for. And, you know, I thought a couple of weeks at first because nobody knew. No one knew.
Sure, yeah.
So, you know, a few months go by and you're like, all right, the walls are getting smaller. Time to go. And so a lot of people, you know, from the company did move during that time because we were remote.
Sure.
And so I moved back down to San Diego. So I was happy again.
And you were a big city. I mean, it's different COVID where you're like smack in big city or here and you can kind of get some fresh air out, you know, once in a while, a little bit more space here.
Yeah, exactly. It was nice, like to actually like. So I bought my first home during COVID, and so it was nice to spread out.
Yeah,
like,
good.
Even though
That's
things were
good,
still kind
yeah.
of shut down, it was
Yeah.
like, okay, great. Like all the gyms are closed.
Yeah,
I
that's
can build.
great.
I'll build one in my garage,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like all these things. So,
So
like,
his garage is like,
Oh yeah.
it's my wellness center.
Have you been
yeah,
there?
for sure.
No, I haven't, but he told me about it.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so that'll be like the gym, the cold tub, the sauna. So
Right.
just so you have it all in one spot.
That's
and,
awesome.
and when you couldn't
You
go
don't have to go
anywhere,
anywhere.
it was a savior for sure
Sure.
during that time. Because like, you know, like you can't go out and anywhere and do anything and you're
Yeah.
just working the whole time.
Yeah.
Like you need a break mentally, and like obviously like exercise is like one of the best things that you can do for yourself.
And no golf, right? At that point, I mean,
There was golf was probably the first thing to open up, but like
Yeah.
if you remember, like you weren't allowed in the golf carts.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
some of the places were super strict. Like you couldn't touch the pin. Like they put like a noodle
Oh,
in
really?
the pin,
Yeah.
and like you hit
Oh,
the ball
wow.
at the noodle, and if
That's
you hit
right.
the noodle, it counted.
way.
Yeah.
It's just like
Wow, I
it was
didn't
a
know
weird
that.
world,
Yeah.
but like
That's
you were able
so
to get
funny.
outside a little bit. But
Wow.
at the same time, everyone was trying to golf because
Right.
it was the only thing you could do.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to get out on the golf course, and when you
Okay.
did, it would be like a 6-hour golf round.
Yeah,
Right.
dang.
So
Yeah. You needed the
wasn't
Bermuda
exciting.
simulator golf.
Oh, yeah.
simulator.
Oh, yeah. That's the
Exactly,
next thing I was
right.
going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I love about kind of your history, I mean, you've done everything from not failures, but you've gone from small companies to large companies. You've been on the auditing side. So, I mean, you just have a wealth of knowledge in kind of a short amount of time, really.
And I didn't know that, right? Like, so
Yeah.
like, everyone always asked like, oh, well, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? I never knew, right? Just being candid. Like, it was like, all right, like this job's going well. And then like an opportunity came up, right? Which was Suja first, right? And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I wasn't looking for a job, but like, that would be awesome. I'd love to go do that and try it out. And then, the job at Alicos, a life science company, comes up and I'm like, cool, that sounds great. And then that ended because, the company, essentially failed. And that was the first time in my life I wasn't working. I had time off, right? They kept, they laid off, I think, half the company. They kept me on for, I don't know, another 5 months or so, and then gave me a nice severance package. And they were like, we're sorry. And it's like, totally understandable. But like, I had time off.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
This is wild. Like,
Yeah.
the most time I've ever taken off was like 2 weeks, which was like to drive across the country, right?
Yeah.
To move out here and then get another job.
Do you feel like that's when you stepped into a different side of you a bit?
Definitely, right?
But,
Because like I've never had time to think about what I want to
Yeah.
do next, and that was it. So basically, it was the whole summer of 2022. I was like, all right, I'm just going to travel and do things and like not stress about work, and it'll come to me when I like know what I want to do. And that's
Perfect.
when my friend Brandon, Dylan, and now business partner, kind of started talking about consulting because we have used consultants in the past at every company that we've ever worked with, and had kind of like a 50-50 success rate on like, whether the person that comes in is actually, really good at what they do and can help us. Because a lot of times what will happen is you go to a big consulting company, you'll talk to their business development person, be like, I need an accounting manager. And they'll be like, okay, no problem, we got that person for you, right? And then they just send someone your way, right? You may not, they may not be great at the specific thing that you need them to do, right? They may just be like a bad personality fit for your team, right? Like you're not really getting that whole interview process. And so we just thought, let's just do this ourselves and like see if we can do it better. Like we'll sell ourselves. We're both very personable people. We both have a wealth of experience, like going through different things. And so I didn't get into my business partner's path, but like it was very similar to mine, where he was at Deloitte and then went to a tech startup for a little bit and then worked at a big public life science company as well. So we both have like very, very broad knowledge of all of that. And so we said, all right, and then we'll also, as we grow, we're only going to hire people we like have worked with, know,
I love that.
trust, and just grow very, very slowly and see what happens. And so end of 2022, we said, all right, we're going to start our company, Twin Oaks LLP.
Yeah.
Which
Twin Oaks.
Twin Oaks.
Twin Oaks LLP, right? So, and the question that we get asked a lot is like, why is it called Twin Oaks?
Because
right?
you're both big
solid.
old oak
Which is
trees.
funny, right? That it works out that way.
Yeah.
But like, we are accountants, and yes, we're more personable, which we've talked about.
Yeah.
But I'm not creative. And so we spent so much time coming up with like a list of what we're going to call this company, and like just asking people, crossing stuff off or whatever. And then actually Twin Oaks was the name of the street that my business partner grew up on in Orange County.
That's cool.
And then it also simultaneously, to your point, like, kind of works. But he's a big guy like I am. And
that's cool.
we're like, all right, perfect. Let's just go with it. Like, let's focus on the next thing that we got to accomplish.
It's funny how long you can muster on that.
God, we could do it forever.
Oh, the group.
The group. And look what we came up with.
It took us 6
I love
months
it.
to
After
say.
all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good name.
It is a really good
It's
name.
strong.
I like
Worked
it.
out.
It's very strong.
Easy.
It's like a good foundation. So yeah.
Yeah.
So how's
Appreciate
it going?
it. You wouldn't tell me if you thought it was a bad name. Right?
You know.
He would.
We're pretty honest.
He might.
We're honest.
Maybe not on camera.
He just says it with a smile.
I
and
do.
you don't think
Like,
it's a
that's
slam.
not.
Yeah.
That's
But-
good. So, how's it going then?
When we first started, Brandon already had a job. He was working full time, right, in a controller role for a life science company. And he was like, all right, you go find a client first. And then that was the strategy, because I wasn't working. He was like, I'll go find a client, and then we'll try to find a second client, and then you'll just kind of come on, right? Which probably isn't very easy to do. But I got a client fairly quickly through a connection out of Boston. And so I had a Boston life science company that was a startup that was growing. They had about 14 employees, nobody in internal finance at all. And so I interviewed with the COO, and just like this, like just had a conversation, just told them my past, what I do, and like him and I spoke the same language, got along, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to have you help. And you know, what started as 15 hours a week turned into almost 40 probably within a few months for me. And then also we have a couple independent contractors that work for us too. It also gave them about 20 hours a week
That's
of work
amazing.
too. And the company grew to, you know, I think 40 people at one point.
That's great.
So that was great. And then so my business partner had told his job that he was going to be leaving to come do consulting, and you know, they wanted to keep him on as a consultant for the time being because they needed him. He'd been there for a long time, and so he actually just stayed on in his current role for what we thought was 6 months, ended up being 10 months. And so we had like a really great start to the business just by making sure we were both busy. We were busy, and everything was going really well. The mistake we made was we worked that whole time, right? And we did like what we needed to do administratively for our business. And
but you didn't,
but not market.
We did not market, right? Like we
Yeah.
weren't going to like the group.
I
and
swear, I
other
think that's the
networking
biggest
things,
problem
right?
with probably most businesses.
A lot of
You
people
get
get caught
so
up.
excited.
Yeah.
And when it's organically growing in the beginning, you're like, oh, this will just continue.
Exactly.
Right.
And in my line of work, that's not how that works, right?
Sure.
Because like
It's
we're not
sometimes
going to have these clients forever, right?
Yeah.
Our job is to help them for the time period that they need,
Yeah,
and then
that's a really good
transition them either into full-time hires and help like interview and place those people, or they just, it was a project they needed, right? And that project's done, and it's like, okay, cool, thank you guys, and on to the next one. But like,
then
what's that next one?
Right.
Right. And so we learned that the hard way, but you know, this is a first business for both of us. And so now we've spent, you know, the entirety of 2024 out all over San Diego, meeting people, and that's how we ended up being at the group.
That is amazing. And that's great.
Okay, has he come to the group?
He has not come to the group yet.
You would have recognized him
if he's two big people.
But it's a good point, because I should bring him by sometime.
Absolutely.
But if you're, you know, multitasking.
Yeah, we try to split up and do different events and different meetings and stuff. And so we'll go to events, we'll meet people, we'll go out for coffee, lunch, happy hour, etc. Follow up with people and all that. But we do some things together too when we.
Who's kind of your ideal candidate or client? Is it kind of a startup that's 15? Again, like you said, they can't afford to hire a CFO full time, so they
Yeah, so there's two sides to that. So like one, not being able to afford full time is one thing, but typically what it is more just they just don't need 40 hours a week. They don't want to pay somebody $250,000 a year in salary when, you know, maybe they just need like a little bit of guidance as they're like if they're super small, right?
Yeah.
And so like that's where we can step in and be like, hey, look, like you want 5 hours a week, you want 10, 15 hours a week, we have the ability, because we're small, to be flexible with the client and understand their needs, right? So we're not like specific to any industry right now. Certainly like the networking stuff we go to is a lot of like life science and tech, because that's really big here in San Diego, and we're trying to get more ingrained in this network. But funding is one of the like main things, right? And so that's another reason why things are a little bit slow right now is, you know, a lot of these companies are the startups here in San Diego. Like we went to a Connect event down at, it's called Innovation Day. Down at Echo
yeah,
Park.
we sponsor Connect. So.
Yeah, super great event, right? And we met tons of people going around to the booths and hearing about their startup and what they're doing. And like, but one of the most common things was, we're just waiting for funding. We're just waiting for funding. We're waiting for funding. And that's fine, right? But once they get that, then they're going to need somebody, right? Because they're going to need us to help them with, you know, their budgeting, their forecasting, like any operational accounting stuff that they might need, right? We can kind of go full circle, do all of that. So they can be like, we just need you here, or they can be like, please just be like our finance liaison for everything, right? And like,
I was going to say, partner with all the fund. I mean, partner with funding too. So if they're stuck on that, great. You know, you're bringing in both sides. Right.
And ideally, that's where we get to, but we're still kind of trying to work that network, because we kind of got a little bit of a late start here. But I've met some great people in San Diego, and funny enough, a lot of our clients are not San Diego based, just because of where we've met people and how they've connected us. You know, I have a couple Boston clients, a Vegas client. Like, it's just,
that's interesting.
And we do everything remote, so nobody really needs us in the office, and you're on Zoom calls and all the time. So that hasn't been a big thing, but you know, as you know my personality now a little bit, like I want to be here. Like I want to like actually help the companies in this community. And so that's why this year we really like strive to get out there, talk to everyone in San Diego. And it's funny, all of my other jobs, like I was just heads down, like working at the company, right? I'm not networking for any reason, right? Other than like the company sponsored, you know, happy hours or what have you. But now that we've been up there, San Diego seems so small than what I used to think it was, right? Like, you know, you see the same people in all different, like I'll go to some event downtown, I might see that same person. Like actually on last Friday, I went.
Hey, can you believe we have 336 members now of the group?
I know.
That's
crazy how fast that was actually in a year.
Let's celebrate.
Okay, you're always wanting, look at that. Look how quick he is to celebrate.
Well, we have to celebrate.
What are you looking for though?
That corkscrew.
Tune. Los Cuernos. No corkscrew needed. What do you want? You want a rosé? Red. Another red. But you want Chardonnay, I'm sure.
Chardonnay, just
pop that open.
To the Founders Hike at Torrey Pines.
Oh yeah, right? How was that?
Awesome, super cool.
Yeah,
right. So
I wanted. That's a cool thing that they do.
6:30 a.m. meetup. It was a little dark. Thankfully, the time changed now. So like we were walking down a pretty steep cliff, like first thing in the morning, just watching your feet. But you know, I think it was a group of 40 or so folks, and you just kind of rotate around and talk to people as you're walking. And
I think Jason.
Yeah, was Jason there?
I don't think he was there that day, but
were there people?
Jason and I we talked about, but so there's this guy Keith who I met on the walk, and you know I did the walk, talked to a bunch of people, and I was like, all right, I got to get out of here and get to the group meeting.
Yeah.
And so I jump in my car, drive to the group meeting. I see you guys. I'm talking to you. I turn around. There's Keith.
Oh,
Keith.
Yes. I had coffee with him.
He got there.
Exactly. And and we had not known each other until that day, and I saw him twice in the same morning. Right?
That's cool.
It is a small thing.
Well, wait. I mean, that's good. That's what people should be doing. They should be getting out there. It's like you said. It helps business and it helps in all ways. That's the point of community.
Yeah.
And the people got stuck. I mean, during COVID, again, everything was Zoom. Everything's at home. And I think a lot of people. They stopped doing the networking, they stopped socializing, stopped doing things like that. And that's great that you focused in on 2024. So,
especially if you're not going into an office. That's what I find with a lot of people. Now that we've merged technology into our meetings and we're not having to be, you know, at a desk every day, the community meetings are our way of getting out and still talking business and being amongst
exactly, right? And not only is it good for business, but it also like from a personal standpoint too. You meet
Totally.
great people,
Yeah.
right? And so like now I have like friends like you guys who like we actually go out and do things like anyway, right?
Yeah.
So
I know, it's the best.
It's pretty awesome.
So, how do you ever fight with the other oak tree?
Oh yeah.
How's
Do we
that
ever
going?
fight?
Are you really twins? Does one tower over the other sometimes?
I'm
How's that
definitely
work?
taller.
I mean, it's been how long? A year?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
So 2 years. Are you still working pretty well?
Yeah, we're working very well
That's
together.
impressive.
I will say like that was probably one of my, we probably, neither one of us probably admitted to each other, but like I'm sure both of us had that internal fear that like something would happen because we're such good friends and we don't want, you hear all the horror stories of like best friends who start a business and then like now, they don't speak to each other anymore because the business failed and they, butt heads on what have you.
They just really need to do jujitsu together because then you can either choke them out, throw them. It's all the aggression is in there, and then you're friends again.
Yeah,
there you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll keep it in mind in case anything.
Well, the thing too is
happen.
a lot of it too is timing. I mean, maybe 5 years before that, you guys started. Might not have worked out. It was kind of the timing for it.
Agreed. And we don't know that, but like we're both like very pragmatic about it. We meet weekly, like in person. Like he'll come over and work out because we don't have an office, right? There's not really much need to. So he'll come to my house and we'll go through all the things that happened the week prior, talk through them all, talk strategy, do everything like that, just so we have some face-to-face time. But like his personal life very different than mine because he's got 3 young kids at home too, so like he kind of needs to be there quite a bit. But no, as far as like how we've worked together, it's been great. Like he's mostly like we don't really serve the same client ever. Like we'll talk to each other about potential strategy or questions if they come up as we're doing it, to see if one person has a different opinion than the other, or just I look to him just for like help and thoughts on things too. So we do a lot of that discussion ahead of time, which has been really good. So so far so good.
Yeah, good partnership.
It's a good partnership.
So then, that's kind of, you have a good balance because both of you run kind of the company, you do the networking, you're building, and you have it sounds like a good base of clientele. Do you are you looking to get so big that you do have to have an office and 30 people working for you? Do you kind of like this format? It's
a good question. The office thing is tough, right? Because like, I don't know necessarily that we would need to have that. If that comes in the future, we're open to it. But I think, if we're just talking the next like 5 years, I think it's probably more in that like 10 people, like 6 to 10 people, 6 to 10 really good people, and just build that methodically. And like even the 2 people that work with us now, they work remotely too and work from home. And one's not even San Diego based, and so that's okay. It works for everybody, right? Because they're able to get that work done. But yeah, if we add a couple of people a year, I think that's like good solid growth for us.
Awesome. Cool.
But more importantly, working on that pipeline to just like make sure we keep ourselves busy and don't have, I mean, there's always peaks and valleys in consulting, right? Because that's just how it works. But doing our best to limit those.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's great.
Do you ever do where other accounting firms will refer, like maybe they're too full, too busy because they've been around and they're like, yes, we'll go, they'll take care of you. Or they're smaller startups and they don't really take care of those.
Yeah, I think like that's something that we've targeted this year. We haven't necessarily like had one of those referrals come in yet, but we've been building relationships with the accounting firms around town for that exact reason. And some of them have told us exactly that. They're like, listen, like we're only taking clients that we can place 2 to 3 people at, right? And have, this upside potential. And like, okay, so you're turning them away? Who are you calling? Call us because, that fits our profile right now quickly. And maybe someday we're in that position that they're in right now, right? But we're not. So like, go ahead and send it down to us. We'll take care of it.
I love and we've said that about the group. We want each other to help. It's not like, oh, they only are this. There's only one realtor. There's only one, of everything. I swear, there's been more collaboration in the same line of work through our group than most networking. So it is nice when you're like, we're just a little bit different. We're the same field, but we do things a little bit differently.
And plus, too, I think the clients appreciate that. That it's not like They're just you're just trying to like kind of hoard the business. And they say if the client sees that, oh hey, I have a partner here, I'd like you to work with them. Here you go. Then they really kind of view it as, oh, you really care about the business, you care about the company.
Exactly, right. Yeah. And that was a fear of mine, like coming into it. It was like, oh man, there's a lot of people who do what we do. Like, you know, why are they going to choose us? Are these other people going to like avoid us and not want to be around us because they think we're competition? And it's like, we go to all these networking events and we see people from all of these firms and we have great relationships with them. And there's no reason for us to be in some like competitive, like, you know, fight about it. There's plenty of companies who need work and we're just a small piece of that and doing our best to, you know, use the knowledge that we've gained over the years to help them and help them grow. And like you said, it's temporary. So
help
them go through a certain phase and then help them hire somebody great that they need full time and can continue that growth trend.
That's amazing. Well, like I said, I mean, with your history and the wealth of knowledge from small to startup to everything, I think a lot of companies, a lot of people can utilize Twin Oaks. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so as linear minded as you are, because of your job, you're also stepping into this. This is where our heart of the matter comes in.
That's right.
You're stepping into more of a inner work. And you did some hot and cold therapy, and you're going to. This gets me excited.
Announcement. All right.
I'm going to Iceland in March. Yeah, for 1 week. Like
my buddy just got back from there.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, amazing. Yeah.
I've never been before, so super excited to check it out. So we're gonna be there for a week. It's gonna be, you know, breath work, journaling, out in the cold, hiking in the cold, going into the like cold water,
like barefoot snow.
Is this with Wim Hof?
Barefoot snow. It's essentially a Wim Hof retreat. So like the three guys leading it are all Wim Hof certified.
Oh right.
And so
awesome.
They've done this experience before. I did a slightly lesser version of it in Jackson Hole last year, and that was my intro into what a retreat was like. And it was incredibly eye-opening. So we went to Jackson Hole in January. We did a barefoot walk through the yard where it was like 1.5 feet of snow out there. It was 0 degrees outside, and walked silently for 10 minutes.
Wow.
And,
silently. That's a hard one for me.
It was tough. It's a mental challenge.
Yeah, it is.
Right? And it is tough. So there's definitely like a meditation aspect to it, which is not something that I've, you know, really ever been good at or understood fully, right, or practiced even. But, you know, going back to the group, it's the power of the group when you're doing stuff like that. You're not alone, right? You look around you, you see the other dozen people that are in that line walking, enduring that like physical pain.
It's really cool.
And you go through it together, right? And nobody wants to bail because you look around and you're like, well, they're doing it.
They're doing it.
I got to do it. I can't be the one
big
who
oak tree
runs
can't
back.
go right away.
Yeah, exactly, right? And there's, you know, all ages, right, that are able to do this, all, you know, different, you know, physical performance. Like some people are in great shape, some people are in okay shape. Like, and so it just shows you that you can get through these things with other people. And it was just really, really, really fun, challenging for sure. But when you're with a group like that, you're able to be, you know, more vulnerable, get through those things, and you see the people that are struggling, and you all help them together, right? Cool. Like through it. And so, this essentially is leveling up to this Iceland trip.
That's amazing. That's great. And again, cool. Like I said before, on timing, I think maybe 8 years ago, you would never have done this. And the fact that you're at the time, place in your life where you're like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that, you know, when I was at Suja, you know, obviously health and wellness, right? And we're doing juice cleanses and stuff together. And one of the guys I worked with there, Josh Church, is the one who started a cold tub. Josh and Rob Church both started company called Edge Theory Labs here in San Diego and Carlsbad, and they made the cold tubs. And I was one of the first people to get one of those cold tubs at home. And I was like,
they were from
I gotta
Suja.
try this. Yeah, they were from Suja.
Really?
Right? And they were just, you know, they trained like crazy themselves. Like they both done Ironmans. Like, and so they were like, we need something. Like they were just throwing ice in a barrel at first, and they were like, we need something that we can use.
Because it's kind of like, oh yeah, we all know that for athletes, you know, and so you're thinking like macho athlete body, but amazing what it does for your mind. So you're opening up a whole new page where you're like, what?
Yeah.
I thought I was coming in to ice and heal and take care of the body. But once again, it has to be a combination of both. It does both.
It is.
Like we always talk about in the group, there's just such this balance of doing and being. And there's a balance of, now you're stepping into, my body side, but I was journaling. I don't know what the heck's coming out now. Yeah. And I think it's perfect timing as you're launching into your business. Really, you're going to be balanced on that.
Yeah. And even so the group itself, right, they have so many different resources, right? That you can use to tap into on that wellness side and like do things. And like I said to you earlier, like I'll pretty much try everything once. If it's not for me, that's fine. But like I always want to explore and see why people do what they do and like how it can make you feel. Exactly. Yeah. Be in that growth mindset, right?
That's great.
And with the cold therapy, like, people think like, like muscle recovery, all of that, which is great and true, right? And, maybe speed up your metabolism a little bit. But if you do it in the morning too, like the mental aspect, it's really hard to do, right? Like you got to work yourself up to get in that water. And when you do, you get in there, you get through that. When you do a hard thing first thing in the morning, it makes all the rest of the things you got to do that day so much easier.
Wow,
right?
that's so true. So true.
That's why I say first thing in the morning. But it's funny because even with the cold bath, I've been doing it for years. I've been fighting all my life. So we'd always just do a cold plunge because of your body hurt, and that was a recovery. But I never really thought about it, but the whole mental aspect of you really do have to meditate, and it changes everything. It changes how you interact with people. You're having a hard time, you're kind of centered. So
and it gives you a big burst of energy too, for sure. Right? It'll wake you right up.
Yeah, that's my coffee.
Yeah. It probably helps you relate to people too a little bit more with clients. When I think sometimes when we're so narrow-minded into one way, this is it, and this is how I function, and this is just who I am. And then you bring in something new, you're like, oh, there's a whole nother way of talking to people. There's a whole nother idea that I have in my mind. And then you go into something new. So I love that you say you try everything because now you're like, I've experienced that and I understand that. Oh, you're doing this business? Okay, I get that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that helps any startup or any company. But again, as I said before, as an accountant, you kind of picture, no offense to all the accountants out there, but I mean, that's not what I think of them doing cold plunges, trips to Iceland, and really helping themselves and growth. It's, that's great.
I agree. And when you can relate on a personal level with people, right? And not to say like everyone's doing cold baths, but like whatever they're doing, your interest is golf or, like you're vegan or whatever it is. Like when you can talk about those things and like have that, because like there's tons of people who do what I do, right? There's tons of people who do what you do, right? So when you're meeting people and like building that community, the big thing is like building a strong relationship with the folks that you really want to have in like your inner circle, right? And you do that by being yourself and just being personal and experiencing those things outside of business and going golfing or what have you. So,
well, you said golf. So does the cold plunge help you kind of tone down the frustration from golf?
Wait, people get frustrated in golf. It's supposed to be like this, like nice. Calm
I think you get more frustrated than most, right? Because you just want to be good at everything, right? Which that's so understandable. Funny. I've learned to just like know that like some days I have it and some days I don't. But so I don't think I get too frustrated out there. Okay, some people I play with may disagree with that comment, but I do it after I golf usually, just because like it helps.
You think about when
you have to take as many swings as you and I do because they're not that good.
And back issues,
exactly. You get
I've only been golfing one time.
Okay.
As soon as they told me I couldn't talk during the swing, it was like every time they were about to, I had an idea, and they're like, "Shh, Emma, what kind of game doesn't communicate when we're all together?"
Talk the whole time?
Yeah, I did
Why
enjoy
are you always
it though.
putting?
Yeah, exactly.
It was fun.
So you can do that.
I went miniature golfing the other day. I was pretty good at it.
Well, that you can talk.
So that was talking.
Just go down to Point Loma and you can do the mini golf and then like the little 9-hole course.
I'll feel like a superstar.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, that's so.
But I definitely see again, it kind of goes back to doing something hard. I see the attraction for golf. I've always kind of pushed it up. I've always done like kind of like speed sports and contact sports, things like that.
Yeah.
Pushed it off. And this last year playing golf, good people you get to play with, but I see that because it's difficult. So I do want to get better. But if I force it, kind of with everything in life, if you force it, you're not going to get good.
Yeah.
You really have to practice. You have to really put time into it and just enjoy it. And I love that.
Do you feel like there's a revival of golf a bit? I feel like my kids, all my boys love it. They all golf. I feel like there was a little window where maybe it was fading off and it was just businessmen.
Tiger Woods kind of made it
and then it's
super popular. And I
now
feel like
everybody.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're just thinking like recently and like the amount of people who are playing golf, like I think COVID had a lot to do with that.
Maybe that's what it was.
Like, because when it was like the only thing people could do, like all these golf courses started getting booked up, and then it didn't take much to get hooked to golf, right?
Yeah.
So people were out there for the first time, they're like, golf's the best, right? And now it's like infiltrated social media, and like everyone's got a social media account, right? So now everyone's working on their game, and I think it's great for the game of golf, right?
Yeah,
so,
I do too. Is it busier?
And now more people do it,
tell
right?
When you're
it's
out
definitely
there,
busier, right? Like that's part of the reason I joined a country club a couple of years ago, was because like it was impossible to get out in public courses, and so.
Oh, the San Diego too. The weather's so good, but that's the funny thing about golf is you could be frustrated and you hit one good shot. You're like, I love this game.
It'll bring you back.
You're like, that's it. I got it.
It's just like surfing. You really just need one good wave. And same thing. Everybody and their mother's surfing now.
Right.
I'm like, my goodness, it is packed. Our breaks are very full.
But it's good. We live in an outdoor area, like outdoor space.
Like I love that. You can go hiking. You can do golf. That's why San Diego to me is such a special place, and I love the community. That's why I want to support it. But I mean, you can do, if you want to hit the mountain, you can go. If you want to hit the desert, you can drive. It's not that far. It's the beach.
Yeah, we got diversity all over the place.
Yeah.
Good businesses, good people, good sports, good food.
What did you?
We got it all, Natron.
Absolutely.
So we have
even breakdancing.
Breakdancing.
Oh, I gotta check that out. Yeah.
But so, what got you into golf? How long have you been playing golf?
Oh, I don't know. Since I was 16, probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, golf was like always around, but like it was a seasonal thing in Connecticut. Yeah. And honestly, we just did it for fun to be outside. And, have a few drinks.
Isn't it cold?
Have fun with the guys. No, I mean, you can pretty much golf from like April to maybe October if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but I took it a little more seriously when I came out here. Not that it's that much, but actually take a few lessons here and there, understand the swing, and like, so I'm not like throwing my back out every single time I do it. But golf's a great place to like take people for business development too,
huge
right? Like
last year for me.
And like you said, like so many people do it, and so now it's like, oh, you golf? Well, let's just go golfing, because not only are we going to have a great conversation, get to know each other better, we also get to have fun and hit the golf ball.
That's a good combination.
It's a really good combination.
Well, that's why I like the Bermuda Club. Again, we had the Halloween party there.
Yes.
The simulators, you play golf.
Cold tub, sauna, right? Like that place is
why are we
amazing.
not doing podcasts in a sauna?
Yeah.
We are.
Why can't we do that?
We're going to do one in a cold
in the cold
do the
plunge.
cold one.
And we're actually,
Didn't Kevin Hart do that? He's got like the, what do they call it? Like,
did he?
Yeah.
He did a...
He has a whole talk show. He has a new person.
I didn't take that.
In the cold plunge?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See, Laird Hamilton and with Gabby Reese, they do it in the sauna.
Yeah, but his is like at 200 something degrees, and they got kettlebells. And,
oh, geez.
They're
like working out in it.
They're hardcore.
Yeah, they're working out and talking.
Yeah, he actually has a bike in the sauna, and he just goes.
How big is the sauna?
I jump rope for probably 15 years. Sauna every morning. I do yoga in there, Pilates, jump rope.
It's so good for you.
Dance.
Yeah.
Meditate.
In the sauna? Mm-hmm. How big is the sauna?
How big is she? She's not that big.
Yeah, enough room to do that. It was before it was like, I mean, hot yoga, Bikram's always been around, but I was like, why am I not doing I remember 15 years ago, like, why am I not just doing sit-ups in the sauna? And then you go do cold, and then you come back and you do another workout and you do cold.
It's great.
So,
makes your body feel so
can't
good.
Jump rope
I'm actually 8.
No, I definitely can't do that.
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. But I do like the hot yoga and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I do enjoy
stuff.
doing that too. Like really good.
It's good. It's
you're
good for
super
balance
active, right?
in everything.
It has to be. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think being as old as I am, my father, again, an immigrant, he had to work really hard, and it was a certain way of doing things back then. You just work hard.
Yeah.
But if you look at pictures and you look at people that are my age, but back then,
they look so old. It's like the Golden Girls little meme, you
Yeah.
know, the TV show Golden Girls. You're probably too young and don't know. And it's like, oh, she was 40.
Yeah, we're older than the Golden
No,
Girls.
she looks like she's 70.
know.
They all did.
But it's because I don't think the health and wellness side of things, it was just
it wasn't there. It was work. You grind. Yeah.
A lot of that stuff's still being discovered, but like, but this is like one of the best communities because like it's like they're first here a lot, right? With all those new things. And so that's why you get a lot of like, oh, what is that? Like,
I know.
You know, that's a weird thing to be doing.
But in a
then
weird
like
way,
a
we're
few
all
years
like,
later, everyone's doing
I
it,
know.
right? Like, even the cold tub thing, like, you know, Edge Theory was like one of the first companies out there. And now there's 50 companies out there, you know, doing the same thing, right? And just like that, it blew up, right? So
that's a good reminder of don't hesitate. I do. I'm like, I always feel like I'm a little excited about something new before it's gotten popular and you get the wrath for what you're talking about
100%.
and doing.
Yep.
Just do it.
Yep.
Just go.
Yeah.
Try
it's
it.
easier said than done, but just stand in it and say, I don't know, I'm trying. I'm jumping off a cliff and we're going to see if I can fly.
Which is hard to do sometimes because to your point, like you're having to explain to people why you're going and trying something. It's like when you think about it that way, then it's like it makes you more nervous to go try something. But if you're just like, I'm going to go try this thing. I don't need to tell anybody I'm going to go try it.
Right.
I'm going to see how I feel after. If I feel great after, then I'm going to do it again.
Then I'm going to do it.
Right? And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But you know, there's certain things you can kind of discover for yourself. And then when you really like it and you're feeling good, then be like, then let everybody else know.
This is what I love.
Unless you want to keep it to yourself and not have everybody, you know, like, it's like, you know, your favorite private spot on the beach or something like that, and you tell enough people, and then it's on social media.
Mike goes to blacks.
Right? Yeah, that's it. That's my spot. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, you find yourself talking about something in excitement, and then you get buzz killed, and then it keeps you from really doing nothing.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. And again, like you said, I think it's San Diego's unique because I have a lot of friends all across the country, and it's not the same. They don't have the same. Anytime I talk about anything that's kind of holistic, they're like, "Oh, woo."
I know. You can't even go. They didn't even have kombucha in Nevada. Recently, I was like, there's no kombucha in any...
In Arizona.
What?
My son, I introduced him to kombucha, and he's like, what is this? I was like, try it. It's good for your gut biome. And
was he like, ew?
At first, but it's like, it's one of those, I think too, for myself.
I love kombucha.
Kombucha, the first time you have it is
different.
A little bite.
Yep.
Then after a while, you're like, you start craving, and you're like, oh, I like it.
Yes.
So,
yeah. I agree with that.
Then you're brewing it, and then everybody questions what's in your pantry.
Yeah.
They're like thinking you're weird again.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's okay.
Down that road.
Be weird.
Yeah.
Try new things. In San Diego, we support you.
Yeah. Our videographer, Natron, really weird. Strange
Super
guy.
weird. That's why he's always behind the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway, no, I mean, it all comes back to exactly that. Like the heart of everything.
Yeah.
That's why we love having, we're, thankful you came on, but we know that you have that balance of the heart, the business. We're always intrigued by people who can balance both of those. You're definitely doing it.
Absolutely.
I think it invites people into your business because they know you're human. And they feel like they can be vulnerable with you because you are.
And the thing about you as well is you don't necessarily talk about your business because a lot of people, when they go into groups, first thing they do is talk about their business. You never really bring it up.
Never. In fact, you really don't.
Yeah. You built that relationship up for a year.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Yeah.
You build
I have a
bridge.
hard time with that, like with the salesy side of things. Like that's just not in my nature.
Yeah.
Like I just want to get to know people and like find out what they do.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, and what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Fine. Like tell me
Same
more
with
about
me.
yourself." You know what I mean? Like
times
it's
have
like,
you heard,
Mike,
though?
tell them. Yeah.
So many people have said, Sue, I didn't know what you did this whole time. And same with you.
Hey, people.
Everybody's like, what does June do? And I'm like, I know, we really don't talk about it. But it's people first.
No, it's so true. Like we just admitted that to you earlier. I was like, I knew real estate, but like, when you talked about the raindrop session, I was like, wow, that actually sounds like really incredible. Like that's, again, like we were just talking about something new and different that like, maybe, if I called my brother back home, he'd be like, what are you going to do, dude?
Yeah.
But like, I went and I had an amazing, amazing time. And I thought it was really, really good. So I appreciate you doing that. So
and amazing too, how much more, I mean, it just, again, when you when you collaborate in any way, when you're like, yeah, I want to know what you do, and then I'm able to have that experience with you. Now it's like,
oh, that connection.
dude, I'm here to support you in any way possible. We had a great experience, and same thing. Thanks for trusting me. I trust you. The whole thing goes further. And that's how businesses should be.
And that's exactly, and that's how I hope that's the goal of the group. And I think we're seeing it. And what I love about it too is when somebody has a win, everybody's just like, I mean, it's like this. Everybody's super happy, and that's how it should be. It shouldn't be jealousy. It shouldn't be like, but everybody's really supportive, and good things have been happening because that energy's big. I mean, it's like,
put that first. It's just what happens.
Everyone comes to that group on Friday with a smile on their face. Like it's really cool to end the week on that.
Amazing.
So I enjoy it.
Exactly.
And I did say I try everything once, and now I'm nervous because now I'm gonna have to try jujitsu.
There you go. Well,
it's so fun.
It is.
But look how long it took me to do it.
Oh,
After how many?
Tell them about yesterday.
I'll tell you about yesterday. No, it's funny because I might have maybe done a little TikTok on the drive to jiu-jitsu and was like, why do we do things that we don't really feel like doing? Like, why? What? Because I had a long night. It was 6 a.m. Let's go throw me on the mat and feel good about it. And I could not muster it. And I was like, nope, I'm just doing it. It's the hard thing first thing, in the morning.
So true.
It was so fun. Right? I think I walked in, I was like, what is this space? It was so fun to see you in your element.
I know, you were actually surprised. You're like,
I was like, look at you all in a gi doing your thing. And he gave me mine, and we had other people from the group there, and I'm hooked. Absolutely hooked.
You got to try it.
Tuesdays and Thursdays for beginners.
Natron. High level jiu-jitsu guy too. So
Natron's high level. Everybody we meet, they do jiu-jitsu.
But the thing too is, especially in San Diego. Again, San Diego is kind of the mecca of jiu-jitsu, but we're kind of like that group, that core group that we were trying to build with the group. That's what you get from jiu-jitsu. You see people coming in, and you wouldn't think so. It's like,
and so you show up to one of these classes. These are beginner classes too.
Beginner classes.
I show up. I know nothing.
You know nothing.
Right? And
that's it.
You just kind of tell us.
He is the best professor. I can't say enough about June. Truly, it's called Gentle Arts for a reason. I've done jiu-jitsu. I did jiu-jitsu like 18 years ago, for a brief moment, and I felt so confused by it, and I quit because I felt like it was.
Yeah, you told me that. You're like, you can't teach.
I was like, where can we strike yet? Like, what? It was so confusing. It was, nope, now Sue do this. Now Sue do this. I don't know how you do it. You're it's not intimidating. You feel like you're a rock star. All of a sudden I'm picking fights and I'm just, if anything you don't, because there's this, I don't know, there's just this, it's the gentle arts. It's the way martial arts really
100%.
Is.
100%.
And I think that's been lost a little bit, not to knock UFC, but I think we all think we're going in and we're...
Well, that's what scares people away. They think they're walking into an MMA gym where you're going to get beat up.
It's not. It's
the philosophy is totally different. And to be honest, again, kind of like with people that I meet with for coffee, I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. So when I teach you, I remember my biggest thing, and the reason why I do kind of the things I do is I remember kind of growing up, I didn't have support. I didn't have somebody to help me. I didn't have somebody to teach me, so I had to figure it out. So I want to be that person, especially with jiu-jitsu and the group. I want to be that person that I understand what you're going through. I want to help you get through it, and I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you achieve it, and you're going to be a black belt at some point.
He always says that. And it's very heart-based. Again, shocker, heart of the matter, but you're totally positive in every single... Oh, yeah. Like I was watching a throw that I did, and you can hear your voice go, that was good. That was good. It sucked. It was not good. But you were so motivating that it got me to do it again,
That's important. Right?
So anyway, just really, really great.
Okay.
Can't say enough.
Fair enough.
Although everybody's going to be like, oh, no.
So just show up in workout clothes and
that's it.
How do you...
Show up, workout clothes, we'll give you the gi.
Okay.
Oh, no. He's built for jiu-jitsu. The long arms, you're going to show him
I know. How does anybody fight that?
The thought of that just feels weird. But like I said, I'll try anything once.
You're going to, you're going to have to. There's a little bit of vulnerability.
There you have to be. You have to be. It's honestly, it's like the group that you went with to to do the cool dip.
Yeah.
You really kind of have to just let go and to be like, okay, because it's very uncomfortable. It is. I mean, to have me on your back, whispering in your ear.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, he's like,
weird.
just choke and whisper in their ear. I'm like, this feels a little bit weird.
Weird. But then you get
then all of a sudden you're like,
and then that's
they're like,
tap, and that's it.
And then your day has started.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very
You got the whole day feeling empowered.
We're getting the whole community.
I guess I'm coming.
All right.
We should be doing, actually, for the group, we should do hard things like that.
Yeah.
Like we should do a cold plunge in the ocean.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We should do a jiu-jitsu.
Well, I am starting from the group, the men's group. We're going to be doing it at Bermuda Club. So
you will be doing that stuff.
Jason Hong, the golf pro there, is going to be giving us a lesson. So we're going to start doing, and we're going to have conversations.
I met him at the event.
Cool.
Yeah. That's right. All right.
Yeah, that'd be cool for you guys.
Yeah.
I love it.
But thank you again, man.
Yeah,
this is fun.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. This was awesome.
Was that torturous for you?
It was not torturous.
Were you nervous beforehand?
I was very nervous beforehand.
And how do you feel now?
Relieved.
Okay.
That we're kind of done chatting, but like, yeah, you just don't know where the conversation is going to go. But with you two, you just make it so easy because I know you both so well, right? And so, you know, if it was somebody I didn't know, I'd probably feel more like an interview right now.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan.
This is like, I'll talk about the business a little bit and what I do, and it's like it's easy to talk about like background and things I've been through, but like I love hearing stuff from you guys and what you've been through too, and so it's been really great, and look forward to doing it more often.
We think you're great. Thank you.
Yes,
thanks for all the support you give everybody.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you hold that very well in our group.
Cool. And it's great. Everyone else, like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. And if you're interested in sponsoring, we have kind of a lineup of sponsors that want to sponsor the podcast. So feel free. Part of the matter. If you want to be on the podcast. And if you want to just start by going to the group at 9 a.m. on Fridays at the Market Space in Leucadia, Encinitas, right there on the coast, we'll all be there to support you, to hear from you, and we'd love to have you. So thanks again for being here. Thanks again. Until next time. That's right. All right. All right. Thank you guys.